Welcome to the Igniting the CEO Within podcast, where we interview successful, high-level professionals to discover lessons they've learned throughout their career that can help ignite that CEO within you. I'm Mark McFatridge, and I'll be your host for the next 15 minutes or so. Our show is sponsored by Quaid, a nationwide community of CEOs and entrepreneurs. Quaid has developed Launchpad, which offers an opportunity for experienced executive coaches to become licensed circle directors. After completing the Launchpad program, you'll lead your own peer advisory circles, helping other CEOs and entrepreneurs excel in their professional and personal lives while providing a community of accountability, challenge, and support. If you'd like to learn more, go to quaidcircle.com. I am really excited about our show today. I get to hang out with Wes Davey. He's an executive partner for revenue growth and operations for Intelligent Tomorrow out of the Chicago area. Wes, man, thank you for hanging out with me today.
Mark, thanks for having me. I look forward to it.
Yeah, me too. Me too. Hey, look, you've had a really interesting career, and during that career and in that time, and especially what you're doing now, you get exposure to all kinds of leaders, and some of the ones, especially when you start working about the where AI is today and the implementation of AI and the challenges and opportunities that exist there. Some people are going to shine in that, and some are going to need some help. If you started to look at that, what the people that you know are going to be successful in implementing AI and other things, what kind of traits do they show?
They actually show the ability to simplify. I think it's, AI is moving so fast, and you look at the way that it's attempting to be inserted into people's companies. If you're not able to simplify the system in the way that your company actually gets the work done, AI will just expose more problems than it will help with the system. So it's really the leaders that can break down the way that work gets done today, so we can identify kind of those key leverage points to use the tools in the way that they should be used.
I think that's a great point. And because it's right now, it's almost overwhelming,
Mhm.
right? Like if you say, I'm going to implement AI, I don't even know what that means, right? I mean, it's it's such an enormous universe that I think so how do you start, right? How do you start with everything that's out there that's AI? How do you start to break it down into the bite-sized
Well,
nuggets?
first, when talking to folks, is I don't start with AI. And I mean, I think that that's the important thing, is because if you're just going to go into, using AI and start to look, you're going to get into a very noisy environment. There's,
Mhm.
everybody's an expert, and it feels like there's a brand new feature that's introduced every day, that's supposed to have all the bells and whistles to answer whatever you need. So when we start talking to people, or really even when I'm talking to folks on other engagements, it's let's start to go and see the work. And now let's actually map the customer journey from sale, the initial engagement, to onboarding or implementation. And then how does it get into your operation? And then how does it travel through your internal systems to then be retained and then be expanded upon? And usually when we do that, you start to hear folks talk about, well, this is where we get stuck. And I don't know, sometimes this takes too long. And then that's really where we start to narrow down and say, okay, let's hone in on that obstacle, because we all know if you really want to solve something, the obstacles are typically the way that you can solve for both the internal employees and for the customers. So that's where the projects start to come from, is as we identify those obstacles by mapping out the system.
I like that. Yeah, that makes a ton of sense. And then from there, what happens? Where do you take it from that point?
So we start to talk to, we have to consider the goals, right? So what really are the goals? And everyone needs to ensure that not every company has the same goals,
Mhm.
because there might be current pieces in their system that do work really well. So let's not just change things just for change sake. Let's actually find something that can, if it's going to change, is going to optimize. So this might be, I will give an example of customer experience breakdowns. So customers might get frustrated from the moment a client signs a contract, then they kind of feel like, now what? So we need to talk about that. And that could be project number one with us, is let's actually fix customer experience breakdowns or customer expectations. So we would hone in on that, which I will call handoff number one. Contract is signed,
Mhm.
and it's coming into the next team. Do we know what the scope of work is? Is the contract fulsome enough so the next person can talk to the client like the left hand knows what the right hand is doing? And that might be we need to set up things of required fields or required questions that need to be answered before the contract actually is closed and then handed off to the next team. So that's a very narrow and specific example of where I think customer frustrations can come from because there's breakdowns between those teams, and those aren't really product issues. That's just an experience issue.
Yeah, that's really good. So when you start to get into the implementation, right? Like there's this fear that AI is going to eliminate all kinds of jobs, and that's just not
Yeah.
true. How to me it's almost like you need to have some expertise in change management versus AI in this. Could you talk about that a little bit?
I believe that the strongest folks that I'm seeing and that I've spoken to that are going to leverage AI, they're not looking at the greatest new shiny ball that it looks like it's going to answer every single thing for the company. And it's not about a new slide deck. It's actually like we're going to build it, so not just advise it. So we have to understand the client's workflows, and then you go, now here we go, we're going to get the client into a working system instead of just having a proof of concept that's going to gather dust. So if you're going to do change management, it has to include the implementation of the what and then also the why. So if I'm going to implement
Mhm.
a automated email agent that's going to handle your incoming leads, we have to walk them through what that's going to do, how it's going to work, train the team so you actually get buy-in from the team, and then help them
Mhm.
to expose how much time that's going to save so that the team that's there understands, oh, wow, you're going to save me 10 plus hours a week. Now I get to go work more with customers, or I can go prospect more, or I can, the list can go on, but it is about that. You have to remove the fear that I'm not attempting to implement a system that's going to remove you as an employee. I'm attempting to strengthen your role. So you're not spending time doing manual repetitive things when actually you can be way more impactful, whether it be on strategy or just on the general business.
Yeah, that makes a ton of sense. I think, you know, in theory, everybody should be excited about that, right?
Yeah.
Like, oh my gosh, I get to get rid of the mundane. There are going to be some people that actually like the mundane, right?
Right.
Like, so certainly they're going to be at risk, and I think as you start to look out, the people that are going to, I'd like your insights on who are the people that are going to be successful as AI continues to become a part of the normal fabric of operation.
I don't think you need to become an AI expert, but I absolutely believe that you can't sit and put your head in the sand and act like it's not there. You need
Mhm.
to learn AI and learn how it can help you in your role. If you are someone that is currently just doing nothing but kind of manual tasks where it's move this thing over to here and lots of copying and pasting, AI can definitely take over that role for you. And really, I think the people that will succeed is they're the people that educate themselves on, okay, this is how my role will evolve. So now I need to be agile, I need to be adaptable, and then my can become something more. Because the systems that I've seen successful so far very rarely are just AI takes the ball and AI runs with it. It's always a human is in the loop. So that the systems are not set it and forget it. It's building dashboards and building review uh, pods where there's a human that needs to see that, okay, AI did this, I'm going to approve it or flag it or whatever. It's so there's still opportunities for those people. And I think instead of the fear of I'm going to be replaced, it's how can you be one of those humans that's in that loop.
Yeah, that's a great point. So CEOs and entrepreneurs are notorious for looking at the shiny new thing and moving on. Almost the jelly or the month club.
Yep.
What what advice would you provide to the CEOs and entrepreneurs that are listening to this show about how to best prepare your organization for AI and their communication strategy throughout their organizations?
I think that AI has to be part of the discussion, but first I will challenge everyone to let's spend time to rethink the operations. Let's rethink the customer experience and then rethink the technology so we can actually have a foundation or a launching pad for sustainable growth. So typically there's just opportunities for the teams to work better between teammates and customers. And you need to have someone in that room that can allow the team to spit out all of those ideas. I like to say, to go ahead, dump the box of Legos on the table, and those can be all of your ideas. There has to be somebody in there that is, whether it be a generalist or someone that really loves operations and putting step one after step two and putting those things in line, and will put those Lego pieces together. So the
Hmm.
CEOs and stuff are typically, they have idea after idea. You have to have someone in that room that's going to listen to those, take notes, take account for it, and then can say, okay, now let me illustrate you what this journey would look like. And then we can agree on that actually looks really good or that has holes in it.
Yeah, that's really good. As you start to look forward, and that's a scary thing in AI right now. Seemingly, every 30 minutes there's a new update and a new shiny thing. But as you start to look out a year from now, 2 years from now, what what do you think that next evolution is with artificial intelligence in the corporate world and in professional organizations?
Well, I think that the first thing is, if people are actually going to implement it, I think it's going to be in these things we're really talking about. It's removing the repetitive manual work from organizations.
Hmm.
And I think a lot of companies you see that are backtracking is because they jumped 10 steps ahead of that. It's not just all of a sudden going to do all of your marketing for you. It's not just all of a sudden going to do all of the sales for you. We need to, I think the clients that are going to win, or the businesses that are going to win, is they leverage it for operational efficiency. They leverage it for revenue process design. Like we said, automation of repetitive work, and then improving decision
Hmm.
systems. And when I say that is, I look at my career and I think about the hours and hours I spent at looking at dashboards, only to then take that data and put it into a deck that then would be presented to the executive team or the board. And now you could leverage AI to automate and pull out key insights from that, and automate, an executive summary out of that. And now, like, now you're saving hours and you're spending more time on, let's have strategic discussions and let's have
Yeah,
decision discussions, versus spending time taking data from multiple systems to try to come up with, some strong points to discuss. That's where I see leaders really being able to take advantage of it, is you can really think outside the box consistently, and it can be your strategic partner on a daily basis.
I love that. I love that. Wes, as we start to wrap up, would you share with us what a typical engagement with Intelligent Tomorrow looks like? And then, most importantly, how can people get a hold of you?
So an engagement with Intelligent Tomorrow is, you can reach us, at intelligenttomorrow.com. You can, and basically we want to come in and we want to first look at the system, talk to you about your processes and learn more about your company. And then from there, we'll identify with you the opportunities that AI could potentially bring. And if it is AI, then we'll talk about that. If it's not AI, we have been doing projects that are not AI. We find that it helps in a different way. So definitely reach out for that. But it's an advising and then implementation, and everything is custom built to that company. We don't just stick a white label on it and just go forward. For myself, folks can definitely reach out to me. All my contact information is on my LinkedIn profile. Um, my personal email and my phone number. I love to collaborate, and I actually am available to talk to folks about fractional consulting work, and sometimes that could lead to, you never know, as you start to collaborate, if there's additional full-time opportunities to really come in and help a company grow. So that I definitely know that I can bring a lot of operational rigor and help folks look at their company and really simplify it so they can start to scale quickly.
I love it. Wes, thank you for hanging out with me. This has been great.
Absolutely. I enjoyed the time, and have a great rest of your day.
All right. I appreciate you. All right, y'all. We did it again. We found another amazing leader with insights to help you along your path to becoming that CEO that you've always wanted to be. As a reminder, Igniting the CEO Within is sponsored by Quade, a nationwide community of CEOs and entrepreneurs. Quade has created Launchpad, which provides an opportunity for experienced executive coaches and fractional executives to become licensed circle directors and significantly impact the lives of CEOs and entrepreneurs. To find out more, go to quadecircle.com. Until next time, keep igniting that CEO within you. I'm Mark McFatridge. Thanks for listening.